We're going to talk about Plan B today, and Plan B is part of the Women Empowerment through Honeybee Farming, implemented by the Hashoo Foundation in the remotest and most isolated areas of northern Pakistan, where opportunities of employment for women are very rare. Before I began the presentation, I wanted to share with you some pictures of my first trip to Pakistan. These are the three mighty mountains, and I don't know if you can see me right there in the middle, lost in the middle of the mountains. Right there, that little point over there. I just want you to see what remote and distance is. This is the incredible mountains of Pakistan. Here I'm visiting some of the very, very humble homes in these mountains. The women that you see on the fuchsia-colored shawl, or dupatta, as it's called, the beautiful scarf that she wears, is over 100 years old, and she's taking care of a 9-year-old child. On the right, there is a tent where a young boy lives with his mother. This is our children's schools by the mountains next to the Indus River. These are these very remote regions, and I want to ask you to come with me in an imaginary trip to these wonderful, incredible, and remote areas where unemployment rates are very high, poverty and illiteracy rates are extremely high, where most of the people live below the poverty line. Also, these areas are fertile for militancy and extremism. Gilgit, so you can imagine on our trip together, is in the frontier of China, India, and Afghanistan. This is the beautiful valley where Gilgit is located. And I'm going to tell you the story how this project, Women Empowerment, began. Sarah Hashwani, who is the young chairman of the organization, was visiting Gilgit, and she saw some women walking on the street. Now, please consider that this is a male-dominated area where you don't see women working on the street. Very seldom you see women on the street. They are not seen, much less heard. She asked some of our teams why those women were knocking door to door and just going door to door. She was told that these women were selling honey. And furthermore, we found out that this honey that they sold was sold at 35% less than the same honey produced by the men in the area. So that meant that 55% of the honey production of the area was produced by women. However, for the same honey, they were receiving 35% left of the income. So Sarah decided, okay, let's take an idea to action. The idea was to empower women through an enterprise. And that's when in 2007, Hashoo Foundation committed to train 50 women through honeybee farming in a period of 2 years. We committed to empower them through an enterprise that will allow them to gain an income, generate an income, in order to support themselves and their families through the sale of high-quality honey. Well, by the end of those 2 years, we have trained 512 women, impacting more than 4,000 of their dependents. This is one of the women in the field who is with her beehives. This project has really addressed the discrepancy between male farmers and female farmers, trying to integrate the families together. Also, the project has increased the production of the women by 20% and their income by 35%. As you can see in this picture, here is a family where you can see the woman and the men. They are all seated in different areas of the room. This is a typical home. This project has been able to incorporate the women into the men's business, and I will go through that a little bit later so you can see what an incredible impact enterprise at cottage level can make. This project has allowed these women to take a leadership position in their communities, even representing the women, the honeybee keepers, in the Honeybee Association. This is the beautiful honey that they produce, a honey that pays for education. Hashoo Foundation has created what we call a social barter system, which is a contract between the women and the foundation. We buy their honey with the provision that they send their children to quality schools. In this part of the world, quality school means regular curriculum schools where the children won't be at risk of being exposed to fundamentalism or extremism. So it's extremely important to promote quality education in these remote regions of the world. So this honey is actually paying for this education. Meet Jamila. Jamila is one of our beneficiaries. Jamila has been producing honey for quite some time, and she just joined our project. She began with 20 beehives, and now she's producing enough money to send her children to school, to improve their education, and also improve their health and nutrition at home. Those are some of the conditions that we have on the project. We work, you might be thinking, how could this happen? Our team works very close with the women, with the families. We facilitate them to send their children to quality school. And we keep track of what are the children that are in school. We provide ongoing training for these women, depending on that important characteristic of being able to go to school. Here you can see some of the women on the field with their daughters, some of the families. You can see some men here in this slide, and it's very important for the gentlemen and the ladies here present at TED to know that we are not isolating the women from the men. On the contrary, we have revived the association that was created for the men that was dormant, and we included the women into the men association. Now the women and the men are working together, and the foundation is by 100% of the honey produced by the men that they couldn't sell to the open markets before. The foundation, the Hashoo Foundation, has been able to open the market for all the farmers, and now we sell this beautiful honey in 5-star hotels and 90 grocery stores throughout Pakistan. When I say that honey pays for education, empowering girls and women through education is extremely important, not only in these isolated regions of the world, but in the overall world, to make sure that women have their place, of course, without isolating the men. That's one of the things that we have learned. In order to empower women, men have to be a participant on this, even in male-dominated societies. Here we have a beautiful girl reading in school. This is the future of that faraway country called Pakistan, which is very mistreated by the press and portrays an image of violence and terrorism. I can tell you that is one of the most incredible countries that have the most fabulous and humble people who are victims of terrorism. Therefore, it's so important for us to focus on the education and economic development. Education is incredible. Education will lead to many other things. However, we have learned that economic development allows the mothers and the parents to pay and invest for their children's education. Isn't that very sustainable? Instead of waiting for somebody else to pay for their children's education, they are able today to pay for that education. This is the future. These are the children of the future. These children will be entrepreneurs after seeing their mothers being entrepreneurs in the honeybee farming project. These children will educate their children in quality schools. Let me go back and tell you a story about what I experienced in this part of the world. Of course, you don't see the women on the streets. And when you visit the homes, you see the women in shacks, because they're very humble homes, sitting on the corner, where really they don't have the respect, whether the husband or the children. When these women began being trained in honeybee farming, it boosts their confidence, they gain this self-esteem, they are out there ready to go and provide for their families. It changed the whole society in many tiers. First, it changed the mother inside the home. It changed the relationship with the husband. It changed the perception on the children of their mother, and now the mother has become the center of a home where first it was ignored. That's what I call an incredible social transformation, and that's what this project is really all about, is bringing in social transformation into isolated areas through economic development that leads to investing in education. Look at these beautiful kids. That is the face of Pakistan that the press does not show on television. This is reality. These kids are looking for a better future. They want to have a family. They want to provide for their family. They want to be educated. They just haven't been given the opportunity until organizations like Hashoo Foundation and many others come into the area and provide opportunity for these wonderful kids. Houston is an incredible community, and I'm so proud to say that 3 local universities are involved in this project. The University of Houston, which is hosting this incredible event today, the University of St. Thomas, and the University of Rice. These are their beneficiaries, sitting with the community leaders and mobilizers, waiting to receive their microloans. The universities have committed to provide microloans for the Women Empowerment Project. This loan will be invested in beehives, the basic equipment for the women to work on the field and kickstart their new enterprise. Here are another some of the women signing their contracts, committing to pay their loan back, and also that they will send their children to school. Look at the faces of these women. They are so proud. They are receiving their first loan. They will be able to improve their life. They will be able to improve the life of their children. This project has been recognized by the Clinton Global Initiative for its sustainability in 2008. And it was also the winner of the World Challenge Award. The World Challenge is the largest competition that awards of projects that are sustainable, energy responsible, and protect the environment. So what is Plan B all about? We are about empowering women, providing them their equipment to kickstart their business. What do we provide? We provide beehives, ongoing training, all the equipment that they need to protect themselves when working with the bees. And also we provide access to work in cluster of 5. We are really promoting the women to get out of their homes and getting together in communities, working together, sharing information, not only information about how to improve their beehive business, but also information about their personal life, about their children, about what is the future, what does the future plan for them. All this is being worked into this project a part of. How does the project really work? The women produce the honey. They take it to the Beehive Association. Hashoo Foundation buys the honey from the women, and we make a profit. We make about 25 cents of a dollar per kilogram honey. We sell all that bulk of honey. Up to now, we have sold over 20 tons of honey to 5-star hotels, who pay a premium above the local price of the honey for the women to be able to send their children to school. So this change really forms part of what we call a multi-sector approach to this project, where we bring in not only the families, but the nonprofits, the government, the corporation, and the institution like the university to give a larger reach to this incredible project. So as it is today, we're trying to expand the project to new regions, to get as many women involved as possible in the honeybee farming business. Getting women involved in honeybee farming means sending children to school. So Plan B is a project that produces honey to pay for education. Thank you.